For women, success is an entirely different game. Our goals are huge, and so are our responsibilities. There is work and there is play, health, friendships, and romance. The question is, how do you call all the shots and never lose sight on what it means to be a woman? Each week, Elena Cardone's discussions and tips with women in power who are going for it all and making it happen.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for another segment of Women in Power. You are watching Whatever It Takes Network. I am so excited to have Analisse Taft here today. First of all, we do this show, Women in Power, because I'm trying to figure out what it is to navigate as a woman in today's modern world. Times have changed, things are different, certain things aren't really necessary anymore. So weekly, I like to interview different people and figure it out. So this week, I have my very good friend, Analisse Taft, who happens to be in town. She's a very successful businesswoman up in New York. She owns her own high-end rug shop. Also, it has a coffee shop in the front. It's very awesome. It's called Alt for Living. You've got to check it out. But she only sells really to the high-end interior designers, which then mark it up, and then we pay the price in the end. But if you're friends, you get the little inside. You get to bypass that person. I get the inside. But, you know, I thought Analisse was interesting to have on the show today. First of all, we used to know each other back in Los Angeles. We were both models back then. I know, it might be hard to believe. but we were what, 18?
Yeah,
19 years old, both living in Los Angeles. We eventually became roommates. We met each other in a casting
on a casting call.
On a casting call.
At the Le Mondrian.
At the Le Mondrian Hotel. It was a long one, too. It was like 2 hours. And she and I just passed the time. We just started talking right away. Analisse was telling me, she's like, I'm a pirate radio Harley girl. I'm like, okay. What does that mean exactly? Well, there was this really cool rock and roll station in Los Angeles at the time called Pirate Radio.
They still have it.
No, it went out.
I think they still have it.
You are false promoting.
Well, maybe.
Okay. Maybe, but I don't think so. Pirate Radio, I'm pretty sure, went out of business like a decade ago. But that's when you moved
Shows
to
you
New
how
York.
current I am.
But she used to ride these motorcycles and get paid by a radio station to wear like leather chaps and a helmet and drive to like the coolest like concerts and sign autographs and pass out keychains. And I was like, I need in on this action. She introduces me to the radio guy. Next thing you know, I'm a pirate radio girl. I don't even know how to ride a Harley. They send me to motorcycle school. Next thing you know, I'm riding Harleys to like the hottest concerts. And that's how our friendship began. We were both very broke back in the day. What did we used to eat?
Potato spuds.
Potato spuds. We just added a little bit of water, and that was it, right?
It was actually really good.
We did. We loved it.
I think we used, I can't believe it's not butter in it.
Oh, that's really scary.
You know, because we were modeling, we couldn't eat any calories, so those were just no calorie, no substance food. It was great.
We loved it.
Did you smoke?
No,
Oh,
never.
I smoked like a chimney.
Well.
And drank coffee.
Yeah, I think I did.
She was a little healthier.
I was a little healthier.
Yeah.
I had a mushroom. That's another story. Remember that? The mushroom?
Yes.
We're going a little bit off topic, but just briefly, this is Los Angeles for you. Back in the day, like there was this mushroom that you grew in a jar, and it off-put really vile tasting.
It was so disgusting.
Liquid, but apparently, if you drank it, you would stay young looking. Maybe that's why I look as good as I do today. But anyway, the mushroom was supposed to make you look young, make you lose weight. So I was drinking frickin' heinous butt-tasting mushroom. That's another story. Anyway, we were broke back then. Analisse starts dating Steven Adler, the drummer of Guns N' Roses. So, I mean, we are like, I mean, we
thought we were on top of the world.
We were on top of the world. We were partying at the Rainbow. We're friends with Lemmy and Motorhead. We're hanging out with Ozzy's band at the time.
Drinking Long Island iced teas.
Well, we could leave that part out. But what do you regret those days? Do you?
Absolutely not. That was the most fun of my life.
It was?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I remember a lot of fun, but I remember a lot of sadness from that time. I remember I had big dreams, big goals. I wasn't getting there fast enough. I remember, you know, frustrations. I remember not booking modeling jobs and being worried about money. I remember also a lot of anguish from that time. You don't?
Not really. I mean, I was always pretty adaptable to what was going on in the environment. That was my life since I was 14 years old, taking care of myself. So
yeah,
I kind of went with the flow and tried to have the best time.
Yeah, well, we definitely did that. But okay, let's say there's a girl, and we might have to come back from break for this, but like a young girl like us in those days, what would you say? Would you say, yes, go out, have a good time, hang out with the rock stars, drink, be wild, you know, because that's going to be the greatest time in your life? Or what would you tell them?
That's going to take a while, so maybe we should talk about that when we come back.
Maybe we're going to talk about that one. I'll put her on the spot now.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to talk to you, Analisse, about this, because what I remember from you back then is that you really wanted to be married. Like, I remember that was like a life goal of yours. Like, you want to be married, a life goal. Like, yes, like you, and you went through some...
Well, I think that's a life goal of a lot of young
well,
women.
It wasn't for me.
Wow.
But I want to talk about how you go from this life goal of wanting to be married to stay tuned. And we'll get to where she's at now. All right, you're watching Women in Power. This is my dear friend, Analisse Taft. Follow me at Elena Cardone on Twitter. Alt for living. Stay tuned.